We're back. I've been waiting for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks now, for the new gaskets to put the motor back together. They're still not here. So I'm getting impatient, so I'm gonna start taking bits off of this and getting it prepped and ready to cut so I can fiberglass do a new seat on this. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, first order of business is I want to get this handle off of here because no one's going to be grabbing back here. And then I want to find and measure about where I want to cut and get an idea of how far back the seat's going to go. All right, we're just going to pop this guy off here, and then we'll be able to get this handle off of here. All right, both top and bottom nuts are off. We're just going to slide the shock right out like that. Don't need to take it any farther. Get this guy up top real quick, and then we'll be ready to do something more fun. All right, the little grab handle's off. So now I'm just looking at where I want to cut and how far back I want the seat to go. So images and pictures that I've looked at, kind of like inspiration ones of people who've already done this, the seat goes about halfway back with the tire with a stock swing arm. So I'm gonna want to cut before that because I'm gonna cut a little loop that will be angled up a little bit slightly. But from what I'm looking at, it looks like there's right here, there's a little break in the weld here, and there's the same thing on this side. And I'll have to measure it, but I'm guessing right around there is where I'm gonna want to cut so that I have room to make that loop. And then that would be a little bit past halfway, but I think that's okay in the end because I don't like the look of a really short, like midget seat. So I think that's what we're gonna be going with. All right, I was just scavenging around in our spare scrap piles around my house, and I found this piece of piping, and it looks roughly the same. Actually, it looks pretty damn, the camera's not gonna pick it up and I'm doing this one-handed, but when you put them right next to each other and you measure it out, they're the same. And we have this whole piece and we got this whole piece. So if I screw this up, I got a lot of redos, so that's good. So yeah, I think next step is marking this out and then we're gonna get to cutting. All right, so the plan here is I have the tape measure and I'm gonna cut at about 18 inches. So I don't know if you can see all that well, but I've got this lined up straight at 18, and I'm just gonna mark on either end, and 18 is where we're gonna cut. We're gonna cut it. I've done some tape, so I have an exact measurement. And I'm wearing safety glasses, Dad. I want to be careful not to hit the tire as I'm doing this. We missed the tire. It's almost like I'm a professional. Let's hit the second one. All right, we are now at the point of no return, but I've cut one. I have cut two. They're rough cuts right now, but I'm gonna take a grinding disc, get them all looking nice. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good right there. So now once I get this cleaned up, we're gonna have to start working on the loop. Yeah. All right, these two clips right here and here are for the seat, because when you undo it on the key there, it can flip up this way. I'm not going to use that seat anymore. So I'm going to cut these clips off because I don't need them anymore. And this one's kind of going to get in the way anyway. So I'm at least going to cut this one. All right, I'm just gonna grind away all this access stuff that's up here. Yeah, there you go. All right, what I've done now, after grinding that one down, I left that one just because whatever. I drew kind of a image of what I'm gonna want this loop to look like. It's gonna be up like that. That's gonna complete it. This is a very rough drawing, it's not exact, but I know I measured and I found that I want this to be 4 inches out from this point here. 4 more inches to the middle of the loop. So doing some math, thank you Chris Hood. 2 pi r is 4 inches, so radius is 4 inches. That gets you 25.13, and then I want half of that because I'm doing a half loop. So half of that is 12.5. So I'm gonna cut roughly, I don't know, 13 or so inches of pipe, and then we'll see from there if that fits up and what's it looking like, and then we'll cut it to be more exact. But I'm gonna need to get a pipe bender or whatever because I don't want to do a bunch of little mini pie cuts in it. I don't know, I just don't want to weld that much, so I'm gonna snap to doing that when I've secured a pipe bender. All right, I was just messing around trying to get the handlebars to fit upside down and see if that would clear the gas tank, which it didn't. So that sucks. I want to do some kind of 4 clip-on handlebars, but I mean, like, freaking look at it. If you can't see the vision now, then I don't know, you're giving Stevie Wonder a run for his money, because it's gonna look freaking sick. All right, took a couple days for parts to get in here, but we're gonna start putting gaskets back on the bike. Also, before I really get started doing that, I'm gonna pop this guy off and make sure this thing's at top dead center, because I know I'm gonna need to do that anyway, so I might as well do that now. All right, this is gonna be much too cramped to see, but in here, there's a little T with a line on it, and you match that up with the top section just by rotating the crank here. And now the motor should be at top dead center. If not, then I'm screwed. But, you know, I'll double check it all. I'll consult the owner's manual and all that, but I think we're good from there. So now we're gonna start gluing everything back together. All right, so now we're at a tricky part because I put everything in order in little bags in the order that I'm gonna need to reinstall them. And then the bags got mixed around. So yeah, now we're going through stuff and it's just gonna take a bit longer. But I got the first metal gasket back on the head. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, first confusing bit has finally arrived. So this is the bottom of the head that I pulled off, and you can see there was never a gasket like this on here. There's just that rubber O-ring seal right there. And this is about the area of where it was leaking oil. So I don't know if it's supposed to have a gasket or if it's supposed to have the O-ring, because if you put one on, the other's gonna overlap over it, and that's not gonna make a nice clean fit seal. So I'm gonna go and scavenge the internet and try to find a way, but I don't know. It's supposed to fit right on here, and it looks like the O-ring seal would fit perfectly, but so would the gasket. So yeah, that's what we're doing. All right, I've made the decision to just put the head back on the way I took it off. I'm just gonna leave that little rubber O-ring on. Actually, I might have a replacement for it. So I'm gonna replace that, and then, yeah, we'll just start putting it back together. So the thing I didn't think about working on a motorcycle in a shed is it's very cramped and hard to film. But that being said, we did get the head back on. So now I just gotta put washers, nuts, all that back in. And then we'll start working on valve timing and cam timing, which I'm definitely looking forward to. All right, again, I didn't film that, but the head's back on and bolts and nuts are all torqued to spec. So now I'm putting cam tensioner pieces back in, and then we'll start messing with the camshafts. I gotta figure out timing with that and what position the cams need to be at. I do have the owner's manual, but it's like 300 and something pages, so it's gonna be a while of me combing through the fine print, but I think we can do it. Well, I forgot to press record again, but I got the first long bit of the cam chain tensioner, and then this guy's pretty simple. This just goes right up here, and 2 screws, and that guy goes right in. Okay, so I haven't been filming much, so I'm gonna try to film this, but we're gonna put the exhaust and the intake camshafts back in. So this process, if you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy and relatively simple. I've retorqued the sprockets on these camshafts. These guys, there's torque specs. So now this one I believe is the exhaust cam, yep. So if you look, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see because the lighting sucks, but on the sprocket there's an EX. That's for exhaust, so that one would be in the front, right here on this side. The intake will be on this side here. So you want the EX facing towards you if you're on the right side of the bike. So I just earlier adjusted down here. I now put the cap back on. Oh, there goes my tripod. This was for setting it for top dead center. So now you are going to align. There's a little letter. It should be an A. I believe it's an A. And you align that flush with this surface here. And then when that's aligned, there will be a 2 pointing straight up and down on the sprocket. And you count 20 roller beads of the cam chain across. And then you line up a 3 on the intake cam lined straight up with that 20th bead. Now I just broke my tripod, so I'm gonna do this without filming real quick. All right, we got both camshafts in. I can see, yeah, so that one marks there, that one marks 2 with a little up arrow. And you count from this roller pin over 20 roller pins, and that's number 3. So you got 1, which is down in the hole in here. 1, 2, 3, or T, 1, 2, 3. So we should be timed correctly. I just need to make sure these sit in properly, and then we'll start bolting that back up together and replacing the gaskets as we go. Well, I just figured out that I forgot to lube the camshafts properly, and one of them's not really sitting in there correctly, so I'm gonna need to troubleshoot that, but I gotta run to the auto parts store. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back with the lube, and I'm gonna lube up my shaft now. Oh yeah. All right, so the camshaft, this one, you need to apply a little bit of pressure down, and then it's gotta push down in on one of the valves. I think from what I've read, most camshafts are like that, but it's weird that it's only this valve right here that needs to go down. You'd think it'd be more than just one, but I don't know. So I'm gonna just try to put on some of these and put on the tensioner right in the middle and see how that fits. I'm not gonna torque it all down, but I don't know. It's just giving me some troubles. I don't wanna torque down on something really hard and then the camshaft be crooked and then it eats up the whole motor. So yeah, that's gotta be the most hand ratcheting I've ever done in my life. But these are all in. I haven't torqued them yet. but everything seems to fit nice. Yeah, this is the only valve that gets pushed down in is right in there. But it all seemed to fit. I didn't have to wrench on anything too hard. So yeah, I think we're back in business. All right, valve cover's all cleaned, both sides. Surfaces are smoothed out. It's a pain in the ass not filming without a tripod because I just broke it. So I can't really film any of the installs or things like that, but put the gasket on and then we're gonna throw that on and I'll show you in just a sec. Valve cover is on. Got to throw in bolts, end caps here, gasket up here, and then I think that's just a vent hose or something that comes off of here. There's a little housing. Do that, and then let's throw carburetors on. And then I think we're ready to rock. Damn! Engine's back together. Throwing in the carburetors now, but it looks cleaner, if that counts for anything. Let's hope it runs half as good as it looks. Carbs are on. There you go. Next is put the airbox on. I might hold off for a sec though. But I think throw spark plugs in, get some oil in it, get the gas tank on. And some point soon we'll do a first startup. I don't know if I'll do that today or whenever. I might wait till there's some more experienced supervision around. But overall, looking pretty good. Well, I also forgot I gotta put the exhaust on before I start it. So I might save that for next time. Do it tomorrow or something. I got some work to do on a car, a new car of mine. Picked up a new car. It's pretty sick. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, except for you, Uncle Peter. And we'll see you next time when I start this thing up.